Hi guys, my name is Shivang and I welcome you to the Introduction to C++ Programming course. In this course, we are going to discuss about all the concept of C++ programming. We will be starting this course from very much basic and then we are also going to discuss about the advanced concepts. This is our first video and in this video we are going to discuss about the basic thing about the purpose of the C++ programming, what is C++ programming. So let's start this video. This is our first video. Let's start this video. So in this video, we are going to discuss about intro to C++ programming. Intro to C++ programming. Programming. So basically, C++ programming is and this C++ is a general purpose, case sensitive, free form programming language that supports object oriented, procedural, and functional. So this is the basic definition. The definition says the multiple things. First is it is a case sensitive, then says free form programming language, and then it supports object oriented, procedural programming, and functional programming. Now let's understand each of the each of the statement. So first says that it is a case sensitive. C++ is a case sensitive programming language. The meaning of the case sensitive means if you are writing something in, let's consider you are declaring any variable or anything with a small letter, like I provided the name as str. First is starting with the small s and the another is starting with the capital S. So both are different. Both are different. So that's the reason it is called as case sensitive. That means the small letter and the capital letters are different. If I'm writing small a, that is a different name. And if I'm writing a capital A, that is a different name. This is called as a case sensitive. Now, second point says that it is a high level programming language. High level. C++ is a high level language. The meaning of the high level language is that basically we are writing the code using the English. We are basically writing the code in English. Along with that, we are also using the mathematical science. Mathematical science. That's the reason it is called as a high level language. High level, the main purpose of saying high level is that we are writing the code in a mathematical and the English format. If we are having a C++ script, let's consider this is our C++ file. Inside this file, we will be writing all the code either in the English format or we will be using the mathematical operators like the plus, multiplication, divide, subtraction. Along with that, they are having multiple mathematical operators. So either you will be writing the code in English format or the mathematical format. Now let's discuss about the second thing. C++ uses the compiler. This is our second point, that C++ uses compiler. Now let's understand what is the meaning of compiler and why we need a compiler. Now, this let's discuss the things about compiler with a very real life example. Let's consider there is a person John. There is a person John. The name is John, and on the other side there is another person that is Jessa. He's Jessa. Now John wants to communicate with Jessa. Now John only understand the English language. John can only speak the English language. On the other side, Jessa can only understand and speak the French language. French language. So the problem is that John will not be able to understand the French and Jessa will not be able to understand the English language. So for that, if they want a communication between them, they need a translator. They need a translator. Translator. So what the translator will do, if John wants to communicate with Jessa, the translator will take the instruction from John, which are in the English language, and translator is going to convert those instructions into the French language. In the similar way, if Jessa is saying something, then John is going to this translator is going to convert that French into the English language. This is the purpose of the translator. In world of programming language, compiler is working similar to the translator. Compiler is simply working as a translator. Now let's understand this. Let's consider I told you that C++ is a high level language. Whatever we are writing is in the English and the mathematical form. So we are having a script over here that is a C++ script. This is our C++ script, and it is written in a high level language. High level means English plus mathematical operators like plus, division, multiplication, subtraction. But on the other side, we are having a machine. We are having our system, laptop, monitor, laptop, computer. But the problem with these machines is they will not be able to understand the English and the mathematical operator. They will only understand the binary format, 1 and 0. This is called as a binary format. Our machines only understand the instructions in the binary format. They don't know about the English, mathematical, or any other language. They only understand the binary format, that is either 1 or 0. So for that, if I want to provide, if I'm writing something inside my C++ file, and if I want to provide any instruction to this particular machine, so I need to provide the instructions in 1 and 0 format, because the machine can only understand the instruction in 1 and 0 format. But we are writing the code in high level format. So for that, we need a translator. That translator is called as a compiler. The translator is called as a compiler. Now, the work of the compiler is to take all the instructions in a single go. In a single go means if there are 50 lines inside my program, so the compiler is going to take all those 50 lines in a single go, and it is going to convert those single line into the machine code. So it will take high level code, and it will convert that into the machine code. Machine code. Machine code means that is 1 and 0 format. So this is the work of the compiler. Compiler will take all the instructions into a single go, and after that it is going to convert all those instructions into the machine code, so that our machine can understand the instructions written in the C++ programming file. So this is the concept of compiler, and compiler is simply needed to convert the high level code into the machine code. So we discussed that C++ is a high level language. It uses a compiler to convert a high level code into the machine code. Now C++ was developed by this person, Bajarin Structup. Some I don't know what is the name written over here. So you can simply understand the C++ programming language is developed by this person as an extension of the extension of the C language. So earlier we were using the C language, but now the C language was modified with some additional benefit. Additional benefit means we got the process of the object oriented. So in C programming, we were not able to write the code in object oriented format. But in case of C++ programming language, you can write the code in object oriented. And the purpose of object oriented is to enhance the security of our code. In C language, we are not allowed to write the code in object oriented. Object oriented was not there. But in case of C++, programming language, this C++ programming, C++ programming. In case of C++ programming, we can use the object oriented. Object oriented. That means we can write our code in using the class and the object. But in case of C programming, we were not allowed to write the code using the class and object. So this was about C++ programming. So now in C++, we are having the four major updates. First one was in 2011, second one was in 2014, then 2017, and then 2020. This update is called as C++ 11. This update was called as C++ 14. This is called as C++ 17, and this is called as C++ 20. C++ 20 is the updated version of C++ programming language. And basically, using the C++ programming language, you can do the multiple tasks. Most of our operating system like Windows and everything related to the graphical user interface, the code of all those things are written in C++ programming language, and it uses a compiler that we already discussed. The purpose of the compiler is to simply convert the high level code into the machine code, so that our machine can easily understand the C++ code written in high level format. So this was about the introduction to C++ programming language. in next video, we will be discussing about the installation of the C++ compiler and the VS Code.